Hi guys, it's Dana from RescueDogTreats.com here on a very sunny day in Northern California. So I've been noticing lots of pollinators in the yard, a lot of wasps, and I know that the mason bee is native to North America, and I just want to try a little experiment to see if I can make a nest. I guess they're solitary bees, so to make a mason bee nest and see if I can attract some wild mason bees. If I don't get any wild ones this year, then I'll order some and try it for next year. Because they're a spring and early summer bee, I will run out of time if I order them online and release them now. So I'm just going to make it and see what happens, a little experiment, and maybe I can attract some wild bees. Okay? Let me show you how I'm going to do it. I think the ideal place would be right in here because they like the early morning sun, kind of wakes them up, and this is facing west, so the early morning sun is from that direction, so they should get the early morning sun, a little bit of the late morning sun, and then in the afternoon this fence will provide some shade. So I think a little nest right in there would be an ideal place for them. So let me show you how I'm going to build it. The things you'll need, or what I'm using today, is one piece of 2x6x8, something to cut it with. I'm using a skill saw, but you could use anything that you could cut that lumber with. Safety glasses, some screws, a 12-inch 3/8 drill bit, electric drill, something to measure and mark your marks. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the board into 8-inch sections. Be able to get 12 8-inch sections from this 8-foot 2x6x8 board. Okay, so let's get cutting. So here are our 8-inch sections. It's 8 inches long. So right here, need to measure a 1/2 inch and then cut that a 1/2 inch off of each one for the next step. Okay, I think I'm going to amend one step. Let me show you what I mean. So ultimately I have to cut 1/2 inch off, and this is kind of going to hold the little parchment paper in place where the bees place their cocoons. And so what's going to happen is I have to actually put 2 screws here and here that hold this 1/2 inch piece in place. And with my experience, usually when I try to screw in something very narrow, sometimes the wood splits. So I think what I'm going to do is do the screws first and then pull them out, unscrew them, and then cut this. That way I'll have this piece and the screwed in grooves will already be ready to roll. I think it proved to be a smart thing to drill the holes where the little 1/2 inch section is going to have to stay attached to the 5.5 inch section first before taking the 1/2 inch slot off. When I noticed when I was drilling the holes that sometimes the wood would crack a little bit, and if these would have been off, I think the wood would have split. So definitely drill the holes first. So now we're going to take off that 1/2 inch section, which will be like
the back of the mason bee nest. Okay, all right. So I sawed all the 1/2-inch pieces off and kept them with the piece they go with. I think I'm gonna have to figure out a way to maybe mark these or something, because if I put it with another one, it's not gonna line up correctly. So the next step is to take the 3/8-inch drill bit and drill all the way through along the board. I've never used a 3/8-inch drill bit, so we'll see how that goes. And as far as spacing, I think about a 1/2 inch. It doesn't have to be exact, so I'm just gonna try it, see what happens. All right, let's get drilling. All of the holes are now drilled through, and the next step is to put little tubes in here that will be easy to take out. Once the season is over, then you're going to have little cocoons in here. Hopefully you're going to have little cocoons in here of mason bees. And so how we want to do that is we want to cut some parchment paper and use a pencil and wrap it around and then put little tubes in here. So let's do that, and then we put this back on and set them outside and see if some bees decide to make this their home. So, all right, so let's cut the parchment paper and put them in the little tubes. Okay, so I'm going to take the parchment, about the length, and about 1 inch more than the length of your 5 and 5.5 inch block. So you can line it up and cut it. About the size of a dollar bill. This one's a little bit long. And fold it over. Okay, so we screwed this back on. We've got all of our little cocoons in there ready to go. And it's suggested that you take some sort of tape, heavy duty tape, and put it around here, this edge, so that there's no additional pests that get inside. And there you have it. Then you just set this on a shelf in the garden, and hopefully we get some mason bees to make it their home. So we've got one down and 11 more to go.
Hey everybody, it's the next day. I ran out of parchment paper yesterday, so I had to go to the store and get some after work today. And I put the little tubes in all of the holes, and I also took some white duct tape and sealed up that crack where the screwed in 1/2 inch piece meets the other piece right there, so no little pests can get in there. So I'm going to sit this in the eastern part of where it's facing the morning sun. So the morning sun, I guess, wakes up the bees. And I'm really excited. I hope that I can get some mason bees into the backyard. I have a few little doubts though. We have a lot of wasps here, and the wasps they make nests out of the paper. And I'm afraid that they're going to go for that paper. So, we'll have to see. I will post an update if there is an update, but I'm like, I know I shouldn't get my hopes up thing out there and all of a sudden the bees come, but I know that's not realistic, but it would be really, really cool. So let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get some bees in the next couple of days, maybe not, but at least we tried. So anyway, let's go put it out in the garden. Okay, we're out in the garden and there it is. Looks pretty cute. So the dirt underneath is because they make their little cocoons using clay-like soil. So when that is available for them, it's easier and it might attract them to this structure or nest. And it's got a garden gate to keep them away from this. Yes. So pretty stable. Got a little overhang there in case we get some strange rainstorm, which at this time of year we really don't. So I kind of just want to sit here all day and watch it. So I'll keep you updated. If there's anything going on, I'll let you know. Take care. See ya.